Hi, here today to talk to you about food. Food science, it's sketchy as hell, okay? Very, very inaccurate art. Somebody said that food science is like surgery in the 1700s, okay? Shows promise, but incredibly inaccurate. A few reasons for this. If you were to test a drug, like let's say arsenic, you give someone arsenic, someone doesn't take it, one person drops down, one person doesn't, you can tell that arsenic is bad for you. Food is something that happens on a much more softer scale. It's something that builds up over time, residually. You want to test food over 5-6 years. You can't put people in control labs for 5 or 6 years, so you have to rely on what they call food questionnaires, which is where you invite them in after 6 months and ask them questions about what they ate. Now just think about that, how that actually plays out in practice. It's an incredibly difficult, incredibly hard way to become accurate. You know, did you eat a palm-sized amount of sweet potato? How many times a week did you eat that over the last 6 months? How accurate is that actually going to be? Another point is that people sometimes lie about their food, sometimes subconsciously, sometimes consciously. They just don't want you to know. And you know, if you were to test, let's say for example, what happens when you take bananas out of someone's diet, you wanted to test what happens to someone's body, okay, you have to put something else in. You have to put a food in to replace that banana. So when you do the tests, how do you know the results you're seeing aren't because you took the bananas out or of the fact that you put something else in? Food science is incredibly sketchy. Now, if we can't get an accurate answer, oh, by the way, if that's the reason why, whenever you look on the line, if you want to back up a food argument, just type it into the internet and you'll get an argument that says proteins are good, proteins are bad, carbs are good, carbs are bad, high fat, low fat. The goalposts change over time as well. There's studies that back up any particular point of view you want to take about food, because no one really knows what food does to the body. No one can really lock it down and work it out because of the reasons I just explained. Now, if we can't work out what foods are good and what foods are bad, what hope have we got, okay? And I would say there is hope. There's a tremendous amount of hope, because you need to take the science and the technicalizing, that doesn't make any sense. Take the science, take the technology out of food, okay? Go back to the day where we didn't know anything about food, where we just ate food when we got hungry and all we ate was real food. We didn't know about carbs, proteins, fats, fibers, cholesterol, vitamin B, etc. We didn't know any of these names 40, 50 years ago. We just ate food. If you speak to someone back in that day about, you know, essential fatty acids, they'd think you'd gone off your rocker, okay? And yet, present day, when we know all these things, we know more about food than any other time in human history. We know more pseudo-intellectual foodie stuff than ever before. We are more unhealthy than ever before, because trying to break down every single aspect of food only ultimately confuses you in the long run, okay? Reject the food books, reject the magazines that talk about things in a really deep level of detail. Reject anything where you get a nutrient name. You don't need to know what a whole organic egg does inside your body in order to know that it's good for you. It's good for you because it's whole, it's good for you because it's natural, it's good for you because it's real. Is it those three things? If the answer is yes, then you have a right to put it in your body and expect a good result. If the answer is no, it doesn't matter what the science says. It isn't real food, it's going to do you no good in the long run.